Okay, there we are. Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Happy Friday. And this is a fun Shui Friday. We decided to change things up a little bit. You like my glasses?
I love your glasses. Mine are a pink color of a version of blue ones that I have. I found
woman. I kind of feel like
those are
They're kind of
I like them. I really like them. Yeah, I think they're a lot of fun. I could see myself with a pair of those, and I would probably have to put some bling on them.
Well, I didn't get there yet. I just
are you?
Because I was, I was out shopping at the dollar store yesterday.
I come across them
to get a few things for
I saw some really cute Easter ones. So, Oh, were you doing the Easter thing, Grammy?
No, I already did that.
Okay.
I did it like 2 weeks ago because, and this might be something, people don't know and maybe need to know. So my kids and my grandkids now, they love the Kinder eggs, right?
Okay.
And they always sell out fast. So anyways, a couple of weeks ago, I bought all the stuff and got it all ready. And then yesterday I saw somebody had on Facebook that there was a recall on Kinder. Yeah.
Toys coming apart?
On some of their products because some kids got salmonella poison. Yeah. So
where are they being manufactured with chocolate? They'd be in cotton.
I don't know. Anyway, so I, went to the website, found the expiry date, the things, and sure enough, the two that I had bought.
Right.
Anyways.
So then what happens? Do you have to take them back to the store and get refunded? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's all right.
And there was no problem. So anyways, just a little heads up, a little caution on that, I guess, right?
Wow.
Yeah.
Salmonella from chocolate. Who'd have thunk?
I don't know. I don't know.
Anyway, so tell people who we are and why we wear these funny glasses. Anita.
Well, we are Feng Shui with Anita and
Cheryl.
And every Friday we go, we come up here and go live and we, offer Feng Shui insights and how we can have a fun Shui Friday. There you go. And we use the topic of the day. We never know what the heck it is because we just draw a card from the Personal Paradise card deck from our friend, teacher, and mentor, Tara Catherine Collins.
Just an all-around amazingly wonderful, grounded, compassionate woman. Like, oh my gosh.
Grounded, exactly. She is just like,
She's a Zen master.
Just, when you're in her presence, it's just like, it's transcending.
Good question. Ooh. Anyway, and so why do we wear these glasses?
Oh, because we want to look at our home environment energetically and start to see things from this energetic view.
Very cool. And I've been shuffling and I've been shuffling and I've been shuffling and I'm going to split. Nothing's jumping out. Yeah. So I'm splitting the deck into 3.
And you're just going to go from there. Okay.
And what's your favorite number? Pick a number between 1 and 3.
Let's do 2 today.
Okay. And then pick a number between 1 and 10.
6.
Okay. And top or bottom?
Bottom.
The number 6 card from the bottom is number 35, guest rooms.
Ooh.
You know what I love about this card and this coming up is we're coming into a holiday time, but also, and I don't know if it was Feng Shui Friday last week or it was a conversation recently, and I want to go a little further into this about so many of us have guest rooms that sit empty.
Yep.
And you want to talk about valuable real estate. I know when it was. It was from our Power of Possessions the other night, our conversation in there.
I really, exactly
is that where you're going? Okay, perfect. So many of us have, well, one or two things happen. The guest room sits completely empty, or it becomes the catch-all for everything and it's brother and sister.
Yeah.
So it winds up being stuffed, completely full of potentially chi blocking stuff. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then in our busy lives, we're busy here and we're running there and we say we don't have time and we wished we could just slow down. And this particular person really wanted to have a meditation practice, but they just couldn't find the space and they just couldn't find the time and blah, 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 blah. And they're just, you could, as they're talking, you can see that they're very tightly wound up and stressed, and meditation would probably very useful for them. A spare room that gets used 1, 2, 3, 4 times a year, even 1, 2, 3, 4 times a month.
Yep.
Is really valuable real estate. And we don't mean in the financial sense. We mean in the sanity sense. We set aside these rooms. We often decorate them beautifully for our guests, which our guests appreciate. Don't get me wrong. However, with a slight alteration, be it a Murphy bed or a pull-out couch or a futon couch that becomes a pull-out bed, shifting the furniture around in the room even, you could turn that into your sanity studio.
You could turn it into an art studio, right? Your craft room, your massage, you know, I don't know, whatever it is you do, like you could turn it into a home-based business room. And, you know, it's so interesting, Cheryl, because right now I'm helping my son get one of his properties ready for Airbnb. So, you know, I'm on the buy and sell and looking for stuff and this and that. And it's really interesting because I've seen so many ads that say, oh, this bed or this dresser or this something, you know, for sale, used in the guest room, only used, right? And it says only used a couple of times. And, you know, I think sometimes what happens is that, you know, you have, you know, and I could just go with my son, for example, my oldest son, he's 32, 31. I don't know. Something like that.
He's in his early 30s.
Yeah.
And he's single, girls.
And, you know, so when you think about, okay, so he's got his wife and they got a couple of kids. And so then they moved into a new home here a couple of years ago. And it's kind of a natural thing to have a spare bed because her sister lives, you know, in another city. There are lots of grandparents that might want to come and stay and visit. And so I think it's kind of like that automatic mindset where they go ahead and set up a room for the grandparent to come from far away, or the sibling or something like that, right? And then again, it's like, oh, and then they come and then they don't even stay with you. They end up staying, you know, they stay somewhere else or whatever. But you're right, it's like how we value other people sometimes is way ahead of our own. You know, we've been taught or programmed to put other people ahead of ourselves, right? And so then we're saving that space so that when they do come, you know, and that reminds me, this couple that I did a Feng Shui consultation for in their home, and they had lots of stuff. But anyways, they had this beautiful room in the basement, beautiful bedroom, had beautiful artwork on the walls, you know, it was just really warm and inviting and comfortable. And I said, oh, wow, this is a great space. You know, whose room is this? And they said, oh, this is our guest room. This is for when our son comes from Calgary or whatever, or when we have other guests.
Mhm.
And I was like, wow, you know, it feels so great. And then their own bedroom, Cheryl.
Mhm.
Now, this was the kicker. Their own bedroom looked like it was this sterile environment. They had done no love, no attention whatsoever to their own bedroom
Space.
And so we had a conversation around that. And I said, you know, what part of you is willing to put this beautiful space forward for guests that you might have 2 to 3 times a year, and yet your own bedroom, that place that you need to rest and rejuvenate every day, you have not given any attention to it whatsoever. No extra love, nothing. And they were just like, oh my goodness, you're absolutely right.
They saw it.
And they saw and felt that how in their life, that pattern, the repeated pattern of putting other people ahead of themselves had played out. And so, yeah, it was a holy shift moment for them. And I'm happy to say that, you know what, a couple of weeks after working with them, I mean, both the husband and the wife, they were so thrilled with the things that had changed in their life just by 100%. Shifting some energy. And then next thing you know, I was going to their son's property. They were having me feng shui his house, and it was beautiful.
Yeah.
And
well, because the results happen.
Yeah.
The results happen when we start moving the chi around. And I guess on that context too, Anita, when we're talking about a guest room, and maybe you're perfectly happy with a guest room. We're not saying don't have a guest room at all. Please don't think that's what we're meaning. What we're saying is if there's places in your life that you wished, like this person the other night, they had a meditation space. They actually had the space in their house that was just sitting there.
Yeah.
And it was a very easy, oh, you're right. I only get company a couple, 3 times a year, right? It was just an aha moment for that person. So that's what I wanted to bring to attention. If you're wishing you had a space for fill in the blanks, look at the guest rooms. The other thing about guest rooms, if you're perfectly happy with it, fabulous. But every once in a while, walk in there, check out the chi, keep the door open, invite the airflow, keep the energy moving, because often guest rooms are in a lower level or an upper level, and they mimic the bagua. So if there's no energy happening in that particular area of the bagua for you, it may be being reflected in the guest bedroom. And you were going to say something.
Yeah, as above, so below.
So below.
Sharon has joined us as well
welcome,
as
Sharon.
Kathy. So,
good morning, ladies.
Good morning. And Sharon said that her aha moment for me, she said, going to replace the bed in the second spare room with a pull-out couch and use the found space for an exercise area.
Perfect. Perfect. It's easy enough to pull out that bed and set it up when you know you have guests coming in, even if it's last minute.
Yeah.
Right. It's not that difficult to slide depends on what you have for exercise equipment in there. Right.
That's right.
But you can have a nice storage area. Assuming the closet's empty enough, you could actually take all your exercise equipment when necessary and put it in the closet. And then you've got a lovely space still.
Well, and
so setting it up.
The other thing too that we've heard of and we've seen, Cheryl, when working with clients with the guest room or the other spare room, is that sometimes, you know, when the husband snores or then, you know, somebody's going in the other room to sleep, and or then the clothes end up over there, and then pretty soon the relationship is, you know, drifting apart.
Mhm.
And so, I mean, that is a consideration too. So when we repurpose or rethink how that guest room is being used and what it can be used for, there may be less of an opportunity to say, oh, okay, well, you know what? I'm just going to put some earplugs in and stay snuggled up to my husband instead of going and sleeping in the other room.
Mm-hmm.
Because over time, right, we know repeated action over time equals results. 100%. So the repeated action of, sneaking out of the marital bed, 2, 3, 4 times a week because you want to have, it's like, okay, well, what's the problem in the first place? Let's deal with that.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Exactly.
Anyways, that's a whole other.
That's a whole other feng shui consultation, which we are available for, by the way.
Mm-hmm. Right.
But what we love is when people have aha moments. So Sharon, thank you so much for sharing that, because it really is a matter of repurposing the room. And it can be a multi-use room. It doesn't have to be designated a guest room. That's the bottom line.
Yeah.
And if yours happens to be the catch-all room, then it's really calling for some attention, because as we mentioned with the bagua, as above, so below. Mm-hmm. So if it winds up being your catch-all, is that in your wealth and prosperity area of your home? And how's that working for you?
Yeah.
Always a question.
Yeah. And you know what? You have 2 spare rooms, don't you, Cheryl?
Well, one's not an official room because there's no window in it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So we have 2 because it's just Rod and I in the house. Mm-hmm. Well, we actually have 3 if you count that room. My office is one of them. This was one of the bedrooms.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it works perfectly fine on the front end of the house where the energy's coming in. Higher energy. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So again, and you know what, it might be also that somebody needs to switch their guest room, right? Mm-hmm. Like you said. So maybe their office is in the basement of the home, and that, to go down and, it just, the energy feels different in a basement, right?
100%.
So maybe they have their home office in the basement, and meanwhile they have a beautiful spare bedroom on the main floor, and there's beautiful window and light comes in, and it's, it's just a happier room. Mm-hmm. Right? Oh, okay. Well, again, maybe shift, right? Just move the stuff around.
Absolutely.
There's an opportunity. And it's, again, people
mind switch.
People don't think about that. They just, because they go, oh, well, that's the spare room. That's how we set it up. We become complacent in our own home, and we don't really look through our feng shui eyes to say, how can this space, how can these possessions better serve me?
Exactly.
To make my life more enjoyable, more comfortable.
And I have to tell you, when I revamped this office, and I'll slide the curtain over so people can see, but one of the things I did when I revamped this office, because I like having all the mental stuff in one space. The work that I do is very logistic, very linear. Mm-hmm. So I need to be in that frame of mind, but I do need some colorfulness around me and playfulness. So one of the things I did was I took off the closet doors.
Yep.
And I refinished inside what was the closet. And now it acts as the storage for my filing cabinet, my printer, a storage unit that has all my supplies, all my paper, all my everything else that I need. And it's a beautiful tapestry that hangs in front of it. So I don't lose the space of not being able to open those doors. Because when we have the bifold closet doors on, you lose quite a bit of space, usable space. Yep. So it's just, again, it was just a refunction. And for someone to turn around in the future and hang a closet rod up, they have a very functioning, workable closet with a storage organizer in it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So the long-term design was part of the plan in revamping my office. Very easy how much stuff you can store in a closet when it's organized.
Yep. Oh, 100%.
Go ahead. You were going to say something. I'm just going to slide the curtain aside and show it.
Yeah, because Kathy says, open the curtains once in a while. She said, okay, she's going to show us. She's going to show us what that looks like. Here goes. Yeah, and you know what? Even in this room, in my office, you know, this is was designed as a bedroom space, and my actually when we built this house, we had actually built it for a rental. Ah, there you go. Beautiful. Oh. Look at that.
That's the closet, right? So there's my filing cabinet, my printer, those tubs are for storage, right? And even what you store stuff in can be decorative, right? Magnetic Beautiful. Board, all kinds of goodies there. So it is a huge shift. And for me, anyway, it works perfectly. Yeah. And because I don't want to look at all that stuff, I just have a beautiful tapestry that hangs in front of it as a curtain.
Yeah. And then when you're focusing your energy there, it's all good.
Well, and that what I'm looking at too, because we talk about valuable real estate, where the eye goes, energy flows, and it's a picture of a tree with very solid, strong root foundation in the health and wellness area or health and family area of the bagua of my office, which is wood energy, right? Wood element.
Kathy says, play music in the room to shift the vibration. Yeah, absolutely. And you know what? That's what I was going to talk about. Going back to, you know, this thing that we started this week, add play to your day, right?
Yeah.
Have some fun. And again, it's about honoring yourself. Where can you have some fun? And it may be that spare bedroom ends up being your crafting room or your sewing room, or our spare bedroom, that's where my grandchildren come and sleep. And we have their toys in there. We got a little movie center and all of that. So it's definitely a space that offers some fun. Yeah.
Perfect. Okay, so let's talk about, the card number is 35.
Okay. Oh.
So an 8. And I, of course, went to my handy dandy double digitology book, Marilyn Harper, Joy Roby.
And what does it say? Of course.
The single digit 8. The 8 is one of the most wonderful numbers. Can you tell we love numbers? 8 is the shape of the 3 completed. It is in balance. Even though it can still roll about, when the 8 is out of balance, it means that you really get to focus your energy in your financial house, your spiritual house, as well as your physical belongings. When it is in balance, it still represents infinity. It represents the focus of being a good steward of the world, a good giver, or service provider. It is truly balancing all of those worlds into the source of God, or not to be redundant, source. Standing upright, it is an archetypal image. Laying sideways, it is an archetypal image of infinity. I love that. I love when the 8 is out of balance, it means you really get to focus your energy in your financial house, your spiritual house, as well as your physical belongings. Talk about fitting right in with that card number.
Absolutely. And again, you know what, you're going to feel more abundant, more prosperous when you honor yourself. And whether it's, you know, creating that home office, the home gym, the meditation room, the crafting room, the painting room, whatever it is. You know, so really looking at that space with your feng shui eyes and say, how can this space better serve me? Because when you're happier, when you're more joy filled, you're vibrating at a different frequency, and the law of attraction is always at work.
100%.
And you're going to attract more of the same. So I love that. It all ties in perfectly. Okay.
Always does. So you know that this is our drum roll 59th episode.
Woohoo! 5-9. Wow, that's
5-9. So 16 is a 7. But what I wanted to talk about was next week for our 6-0.
Oh yeah, 6-0.
And it's Easter weekend.
Oh yeah.
So what should we do that'll be hopping fun?
Ooh, I know.
I have an idea.
Mm-hmm. I do too.
You do too. Okay.
Okay, well we'll leave it at that.
We'll
It'll
leave
be a
it at that.
surprise because it will be fun.
It'll be hopping fun.
And I think we'll just do it on Friday.
Absolutely perfect.
I think so.
Stick with the as is.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah.
Love it. So going back to 5-9 today, the 15-9 being 14 and 1 and 4 is a 5. How did I come up with 7?
I don't
know. It's a 5. So talk about 5. I read about 8. You talk about 5.
You know what? 5 is the change, right? And it's like birthing of new ideas and accepting, it almost looks like a little pregnant person. So, stand there and go, okay, what am I going to step into? What am I going to birth? And again, it might be that spare bedroom that gets a real shift of energy.
Actually, and you know what? You saying that, all I keep hearing was just simply go do some work in the spare bedroom and shift the energy in the spare room because you're not in there very often.
That's right.
So that's probably a message for me. Although we did some work before Christmas to do a little bit of swapping around the energy in our spare rooms, but that's also 5 months ago already. It's like, whoa, how's that possible? Simply going in there and dusting and moving and go in and appreciate the room. The fact that you have that room. And dream in it.
What were the other cards?
Make a cup of tea.
What were the other cards that you had that were upside down and piles, and what was that all about? Because we're almost at the top of the hour already. So
what do you mean? What other cards?
I
had split the deck. Well, I split to get a card for today. You said we'd do a card. That's how I got to the card. I split it in 3 and then I made you choose.
Okay, I thought there was more to it. I was thinking, I was waiting. I'm thinking, okay, pick a number, bottom, top.
You were guiding me to the topic.
Okay, never mind. As you can tell, I'm just kind of getting over a head cold. So, my ears are probably
perking up.
There's some fog happening.
Cool. So any other questions that we need to address that is in the window?
No, I don't think so. I think we're good. And so we're going to look forward to seeing you next week for the
60th.
The surprise, and add some fun to your day.
Yes.
Some play to your day. And even if it's, we already did that, Cheryl and I, because we love to play.
I like to play dress up. Can you tell?
Yeah.
We get to do something else fun in about an hour. You know that.
Yeah. And then after that, in another hour, we get to do something fun again. So
do you know what we're doing in an hour? We're going to do another interview on our Flock channel.
All the way from Houston, Texas. Houston, Texas will be tuning in.
Yeah. Like it. And if you haven't been to our YouTube channel, it is, of course, Feng Shui with Anita and Cheryl. We have some really, really brilliant people that we have interviewed. And is one of them watching today?
No.
Kathy?
Oh, yeah, Kathy. Duh. Yeah, Kathy's here. Of course, we had Kathy on our Flock.
Kathy, we've interviewed. Yeah.
I thought you were talking about Matt.
Oh, well, he's another one.
Yeah.
And along with many. And really, if you want to get to know some people that Anita and I have in common that have impacted our lives, the Flock has some fantastic interviews, really worth watching. The brilliance that surrounds us, we don't have to go very far to find it.
No. Yeah. So today, all the way from Houston, Texas. Look forward to that one. Woohoo.
Yeah, me too. All right. Top of the hour. Toodaloo.
And we'll see you all next week, and have a great fun Shui Friday.
Yeah. Type in the chat window when you go, what fun are you adding to your day? What play are you adding to your day? Let us know.
Okay. Bye for now.
Bye, y'all.